Mung Galata is remember the river, and what we should do to care for the river is literally remember the river. We can't keep forgetting about it. It used to be clean, people used to swim in it, people would gather, do ceremonies, and now there's a big void. So closing that void and making sure that everyone feels like, oh yeah, the river's there, but making sure that they remember the river by interacting with it.
Knowing that this is the first river to have living entity status in Australia is quite exciting. And I think I've changed the way I talk about her. Like, I actually say, how are you doing today? Because I think the more of us who start doing that, the more interest and care we will have for how she's really doing. Where we stand today, I would love to see this concrete or asphalt, whatever this is, thriving with biodiversity, with vegetation, hearing the joyful sounds of children of all age groups really swimming in this river.
I just spent the morning paddling down the Birrarung with some friends and some new friends who I just met as part of the Birrarung River Festival, and we picked up quite a lot of rubbish. Paddling on the river was seeing it all from a different perspective, and you see how, just in our daily lives, the impact that humans are having on the river and the health of the river.
The river is part of the city, part of what makes Melbourne, Melbourne, and we take it so much for granted. I think it's so easy to just forget how extraordinary it is to be here, how it's been a place for people to gather for thousands of years, and we have a huge ongoing responsibility to take care of that and to help to make it better.
The Birrarung starts at Mount Baw Baw and it makes its journey all the way out to the ocean, and along with our eels, you know, that migrate up and down every year. And for our people, it provided such a buffet when it came to hunting. But you see these concrete banks now and all the boulders there to kind of cover up the fact that there's no native species there or nothing living at all. And it's killed off a lot of the ecology on the banks and the riverbeds. And so if we want to be able to create these healthy landscapes where we can move forward and flourish like we always have, then we've got to allow the river to behave in the way that it needs to behave. And we need to give the respect back to the river in the way that it always should have been respected.
Today I'm here to welcome you to my father's country. Beautiful Birrarung country. My people have a deep spiritual connection to these lands, encompassing all of our rivers, our mountains, coastal areas, and all of our beautiful bushlands that surround us today. By coming together, by doing ceremony, by healing our country, we heal our communities, and we heal ourselves.
Today we're down here at Westgate Park for Riverfest on the Birrarung riverbank. In this stretch of river, we're attempting to rewild the landscape. So this 400 years ago would have been a really thorough salt marsh with no clearly defined riverbank exit. The land specifically where Westgate Park sits would have been part of the river at that point. So there's been a huge amount of change to the landscape in the last 300 years here. And working with what we have now, we're just trying to establish it as a really, really healthy park for biodiversity.
The highlights of Riverfest have been people getting connected with the river, you know, more deeply. Even people who thought they knew the river have learned something new. And it's not just that people have been connecting with the river, but they've been connecting with each other, which is just incredible. And I think people connecting better with the Birrarung, it's not so much as what you do, as what you think. Fundamentally changing the mindset to one of appreciation that we're sustained by the river each and every day.
These collaboration events with Yarra Riverfest just bring a lot of people together and really get to celebrate the Yarra River and the Birrarung itself. And it's about extending our environmental stewardship, making sure there's more than just the usual people looking after places like the Yarra River and our local environment. There's a lot of pollutant runoff into the river, habitats are becoming more and more fragmented, developments are coming closer and closer to the river. So it's really important for people to act responsibly, and it'd be such a shame if we didn't look after it and care for it.
What's important is having a connection to the river and not thinking of the river as something for me. It's about how is this river alive and how can we preserve the river, from just making sure rubbish doesn't go in there, to planting native vegetation along the banks, to thinking about what's alive in the river and how they've got an ecosystem and what is below the surface, and treat it as a friend.
I feel very privileged to be able to give back to the river by helping people revegetate and advocate for its ongoing health and well-being. Everybody has a role that they can play to help care for the Birrarung. You can come and connect with the waterway, spend time near the waterway, or you connect with a local friends group, get involved with an event. There's lots of things that we can do to help care for our Birrarung into the future.